Mary with the New Hanover County Public Library, and I'm back today with juvenile fiction about princesses. This first one, it's actually part of a series. They're about real princesses, but it's fictional stories that are supposed to be like the diaries that they were writing at the time that they were young themselves. This particular one happens to be my favorite in the series. It's about Kaolani, the Hawaiian princess. This particular one is by Ellen Emerson White, but they're all by different authors, which will also introduce you to a lot of new authors, because if you like this one too, try another Ellen Emerson White book. The Hamster Princess series. Now, you normally think, oh, princesses, pink, glittery, crowns, needlepoint, sitting around, sighing, waiting for someone to rescue them. Not so with the Hamster Princess, although she does have, glittery pink and a crown, but she's always going on some kind of adventure, and in this particular one, she is definitely rescuing people. The author of this one, by the way, is Ursula Vernon. This particular one I got in CD just because I happen to like this one as an audiobook, but I also loved the book, which is how I read it first. It's by Patricia Reedy, and it's called Dealing with Dragons. It's part of her Enchanted Forest series. In this particular one, the princess isn't so much captured by the dragon as she goes to the dragon because she's sick and tired of dealing with everything else, so she's just going to go and capture a dragon herself by just showing up on his doorstep and moving in with him. And it's all the adventures that happen afterwards. Robin McKinley wrote The Hero and the Crown many years ago. You'll notice that she won a Newbery Award. You can tell because it has the red tape on the side, like all of our award-winning books, Caldecott or Newbery. This particular one, there's also The Blue Sword about Damar, but I happen to prefer starting with this particular one. You could do it the other way if you want. But in this particular one, we have Erin, who's a princess, and she must save her kingdom, the kingdom of Damar, which is kind of interesting, and meets wizards, and she does the saving in this one too. The Princess and the Goblin by George MacDonald. This particular book was written about 150 years ago, and his goblins influenced how Tolkien wrote about his goblins in The Fellowship of the Rings and The Hobbit. But in this particular one, we do have a somewhat more traditional princess, but she still saves her people from the goblins because there's only one other person in the castle who believes her, and that's the minor son, so nobody's really listening to either of them, which is why they have to save everyone. Jessica Day George wrote Dragon Slippers. Now, in Dragon Slippers, it all starts off because a brother and sister end up being taken in by their aunt and uncle after their parents die. But the aunt has this brilliant idea, according to the aunt, that what they need to do is the girl needs to go get captured by the dragon that lives just outside of town, and once she gets captured by a dragon, some prince will come along and save her from the dragon and marry the niece, and then they'll all live happily ever after in the prince's castle, right? Well, nobody's actually seen this dragon. Nobody actually believes dragon's there, but they finally decided, look, we'll humor the aunt and we'll just go. So they leave the niece outside, and she's thinking, yeah, hopefully they'll decide I can come back in time for lunch and won't have to, kind of scrounge around for something. Only there is a dragon. Things go differently from there. She actually ends up getting to try her dream, which is to go to the capital and become a seamstress, but not just any seamstress. You may have heard of Levine. She wrote Ella Enchanted. I would suggest starting though with her Princess Tales, just because they're so fun and short and lots of different things in them. So try one of her Princess Tales. This is the first volume, but there are others. Now, Igraine the Brave is by Cornelia Funke, and technically Igraine is not a princess, but she lives in a castle. Her parents are both wizards. Her brother is kind of like a junior wizard. And her parents have to go off to help the king, so it's just her and her brother in the castle, and then her brother gets called away for something, so Igraine is left in the castle, but it's going to be fine, right? No, someone tries to attack the castle, so Igraine has to go out and save the castle and everything and everyone associated with it, because she is literally the only one left. So technically not a princess, but definitely in line with many of our other princesses. So come and see us at the library, read these books, put them on hold, or ask us for other suggestions. Bye.